¿Qué tal a todos? Buen día a todos aquellos que nos acompañan en vivo en esta transmisión, ya sea a través de Zoom, a través de nuestras redes sociales o también aquellos que nos estarán viendo en la grabación. Pues bienvenidos, gracias por acompañarnos una vez más y de nuevo pues gracias por acompañarnos. Hoy tenemos un webinar con invitados de lujo. Tenemos a Latécoère, quien nos va a presentar oportunidades y tendencias en las aeroestructuras y los sistemas de interconexión. Que será presentado por Nicola Mignozzi, que es Head of Commercial Aircraft Cabin Programs Interconnection Systems. Pues ahora tendremos un webinar con uno de nuestros miembros que nos van a, ahora sí que ilustrar mucho de lo que han venido haciendo en México y las oportunidades que vienen en los próximos años. Vamos a recordarles, todas las semanas tenemos nuestro webinar semanal en punto de las 11:30 de la mañana, hora del centro de México. Y la próxima semana tendremos el tema gestión de equipos de manera remota a cargo de Patricia Pérez Solernu, consultora en talento y efectividad organizacional de Grupo LSC. Pues bueno, los esperamos también la próxima semana. Esto es más para recordar que todas las semanas tenemos nuestros webinars. ¿Avanzamos? Todos aquellos que no conocen FEMIA, pues somos la Federación Mexicana de la Industria Aeroespacial, que agrupamos más de 100 miembros manufactureros de partes y componentes aeroespaciales. Algo importante es que dentro de nuestra membresía se encuentran más del 80% de las exportaciones aeroespaciales del país. Y ahorita vamos a conocer un poco de la membresía de FEMIA. Todos aquellos que no están familiarizados con nuestros miembros, ahí en pantalla estamos viendo ahora sí que la gama de miembros que tenemos desde los OEMs, las ensambladoras como Boeing, Airbus, Gulfstream, Textron Aviation, Tiers 1 importantes como Collins, Safran, bueno, aquí en este caso Latécoère, que es nuestro invitado especial del día de hoy, así como diversa gama de proveedores que están a lo largo de la cadena de suministro, ¿no? Tiers 2, Tiers 3, temas de maquinados, acabados, tratamientos térmicos, etcétera. Pues bueno, esta es la gama de miembros que tenemos y continuamos. Aquí presentamos el equipo que estamos a cargo de FEMIA. Empezamos por René Espinosa, quien es el presidente del consejo, y luego nuestro presidente ejecutivo, Luis Gerardo Liscano. Por parte de la dirección de operación, Pamela Arellano; en nuestra dirección de promoción, Mónica Vega; Mariana González a cargo de gestión y membresía; Marta Ortuño como asistente de dirección; Enrique Maldonado, que está en nuestro equipo de desarrollo de proveedores; y Javier Hurtado, un servidor, a cargo del Programa Nacional de Desarrollo de Proveedores. Y pues bueno, somos el equipo que dirigimos la FEMIA, coordinando obviamente con las diferentes comisiones que elaboramos. Adelante. Y pues bueno, ahorita para dar inicio con este webinar es importante que todas las preguntas las podemos hacer ya sea vía chat o potencialmente levantando la mano, pero vamos a dejarlas para el final, de tal forma que Nicola Mignozzi nos pueda hacer su presentación y al final concentraremos las preguntas que pudiéramos tener para el equipo de Latécoère. Muy bien, pues damos inicio. Vamos a presentar por aquí un video de nuestro invitado especial. Y con esto continuamos. Bueno, así que todo un video, una gran empresa, miembro de FEMIA, y ahora pues tengo el gusto de presentar a Nicola Mignozzi, que es nuestro presentador el día de hoy. Y pues para presentarlo de manera muy breve, Nicola es ingeniero mecánico con un máster en Business Administration, habla 4 idiomas, está radicando en la hermana República de Sonora, ahí muy cerca de la playa. Durante su carrera universitaria estudió en Holanda y participó con éxito en campeonatos italianos y europeos de vela, lo cual fue un antecedente muy interesante para todo lo que hace actualmente. Después de una experiencia de Computational Fluid Dynamics en la investigación aplicada en los barcos de vela, empezó su carrera en la aeronáutica como Project Engineer. Como paso siguiente participó en un MBA que lo llevó a Francia, donde trabajó en finanzas durante 3 años para ATR como Risk Manager, para después trabajar en una empresa de consultoría, Alten, estructurando y liderando proyectos de reducción de costo y gestión de cambios para Airbus. Desde hace 3 años trabaja para Latécoère. Actualmente es Head of Commercial Aircraft Cabin Programs en la división Interconexión Systems, coordinando los programas de cabinas por el grupo y el Business Development en el continente americano. Pues Nicola, no te quiero robar más el micrófono y el tiempo. Ahora sí que todo tuyo, los micrófonos, cámara, y con todo gusto, bienvenido al estrado. Adelante, Nicola.
Buenos días a todos y todas. Voy a compartir nuestra presentación. I guess we will run the session in English to be open to eventual other participants from other countries. Javier, tell me when you see our presentation, please.
We can see your presentation now. We're good to go.
So, good. Some problem in visualizing our presentation. So I would like to introduce briefly Latécoère. Latécoère was founded in 1917, so it's more than 100 years that we produce aircraft and aircraft components, being these interconnection systems or aerostructures for different companies all around the world. We have roughly 60% of our business is in aerostructures, and more than 40% in interconnection that is growing fast in the last years. We are the first one worldwide for aircraft doors, top 5 in fuselage sections, number 1 in avionic racks, and number 2 worldwide in onboard wiring systems. We are based all around the world in all continents. 14% of our turnover is here in Mexico and growing fast. Women are more than 60% of our workforce. Interconnection, we are present with 70% and with a very young workforce, as you can see from our graphs. We are a full approach to our customer from conception, design, manufacturing. We test our products. We offer maintenance services. We work on requirements. We make research for the next generation aircraft. We accompany our customers through all our cycle. We have an innovation strategy. We are developing the doors of the future with demonstrators fully automatically actuated. We are developing compact tracks. We invest in 3D printing with material and processes. Optical transmission is one of our winners for the future. We developed a fully digital plant in Toulouse and invest in automation for wire harnesses insertion. We see that in aircraft structures, we are the leaders in passenger service and cargo doors. Here in Hermosillo, we have a automated plant for to serve our American customers, and we assemble fuselage for Airbus. We have a plant in Brazil as well for Embraer. We offer engineering, maintenance, repair. Our doors are fully operational once delivered to, and fully integrated once delivered to our customers. If we see in interconnection system, we are present in EWIS, so electrical wire installation systems for aircraft. We offer space harnesses. We are the leaders in avionic racks. We sell plug and play equipments and systems like the cameras for surround view and cabin surveillance. We produce and use ourselves our own test benches that are on the market as well, and we are fully capable of engineering, producing, and service our products. The innovation strategy here, we have a few examples with the compact racks. Those are the racks for the new generation aircraft. We see we are investing in optic transmission via fiber or via air, with some demonstrators in Leafy technology that are already flying. We are automating the routing and the insertion of our components. We are as well diversifying. We took at the crisis in the aviation market has been brutal, given by the COVID, and this pushed us to diversify in defense with the EWIS manufacturing installation. In ground transportation, we are currently manufacturing harnesses for the last mile transportation for trucks, electric trucks. We are present in the drone markets, in the naval market, and last year we had a huge ramp up for the healthcare. We produced more than 10,000 ventilators harnesses, roughly 85,000 harnesses produced for the Canadian market. Our footprint on the American market, we are in Canada with a plant in Montreal, 2 plants in US, Seattle and Garden Grove, Los Angeles. In Mexico, we have now 3 plants, 2 in Hermosillo, present in Aeroestructuras with doors. We bought a company called Shintech de Mexico for advanced composites that will be integrated soon in our production tissue. We are present in Querétaro with a big plant that we purchased from Bombardier, focused on wire harnesses for all the Bombardier fleet shipped to Canada. In Brazil, we are in Jacareí with the Aerostructure Interconnection, where we are placed close to our biggest customer in Brazil. The headquarters are in France. We have also a presence in North Africa with Morocco and Tunisia. Over Europe, we are as well in United Kingdom, Germany, Czech Republic, Bulgaria. We opened recently a plant in India where we offer offset, and we are present as well in Japan. If we see our capabilities in interconnection here in Hermosillo, we have a huge plant based close to the airport. We serve our customer Airbus, where we manufacture A320, the cockpit harnesses, very impressive harness, and the wings harnesses for A330, A350. Here we have an example of the wire harnesses produced for the wings, with a severe environment with this metal protection. The A350 wings, these tables are really impressive because it's almost the length of the wingspan of a full aircraft. We produce also our cabin programs, Thales and Safran, cabin and in-flight entertainment harnesses, as well as galleys, lavatories harnesses for Safran. Presentation got frozen. This is the production cycle. Just an example. We are able to cut, to route the harnesses, to crimp. We pass through the insertion of the head A, head B, the finishing of the harnesses, the test with our own test benches, through the packaging and the shipment to our customer. So the different technologies are segregated. The production line is tailorized to improve the performance of the plant and grant the biggest quality to our customers. We produced healthcare ventilator harnesses with our customer CAE, shipped to Canada. We have a facility for optical fiber with a clean room dedicated in this moment to Thales. We have a clean room as well with higher standard for space harnesses, actually producing for top secret customers. We hope to disclose this customer quite soon. We produce part of our tooling. We are able to 3D print it in-house, so design and build. We have a new product introduction department that industrialize the new products directly here in the plant. We have a full span of certification and qualifications with a higher standard, ISO 9001, EN 9100, just to tell some. Here I would like to introduce our facility for Aeroestructures. We have semi-automated, 3 semi-automatic robots for cabin doors piercing and riveting, and one fully automated robot without operators required, and jigs and tools for functional test and for final inspection. This is the line dedicated to 787 doors. Is hybrid doors with a carbon fiber skin and structure, and metallic fitting. This is provided fully integrated with a wiring and ready to be installed in the 787 structure one received by our customer Boeing. We are currently producing the Bombardier 7000 door. You can see the jigs on the right hand side. And we are also ramping up the Boeing 767 production. We have one new customer that will see the production launched in the future months, where we are trying to develop. We're currently launching the production and develop the supply chain here in the American continent. I would like to introduce briefly our Querétaro plant, dedicated fully to interconnection system. This is the print of our the programs. For Bombardier EWIS harnesses, the biggest product is the mid fuse for the Global 7500. It's really impressive how complex is the product we deliver, with nearly zero issues to the final customer. The other products are delivered to for the Global 5500, the Challenger series. We produce as well harsh environment harnesses for the engines with a higher standard of protection. The assembly line, and this is the manufacturing process, starting from the cutting, sub-assemblies, the routing on tables, the connectors insertions, the electrical testing done directly on the routing boards, the finishing, the inspection, the packaging, and you can see the product installed on the aircraft engine. We have automated and semi-automated tools. For example, here is the wiring cutting, the laser cutting, the e-test, and the tooling department to integrate, to ramp up new technologies as well. This is a sentence by our founder. All calculations show it can work. There is only one thing to do: make it work. This is our motto. We trust on it. And you can follow us on our website, our YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter channels. And thank you for your attention. I leave the word to you for question and answers.
Much for this presentation. Obviously, it gives us a very good perspective as to what are the projects Latécoère is currently working like internationally and also in Mexico. So one of the key questions that perhaps the audience might be wondering is, what are the opportunities and how can we get in touch with your team to see how we can collaborate and help you achieve your current mission in Mexico?
You can present our other two colleagues. Maybe they can fit your questions. There is with me Mr. Edgar Diaz, Regional Buyer Americas. So here, and Mr. Felipe Tapia, that is a program manager, taking into the lead on the diversification products as well. So the question, can you repeat, please?
Yes, of course. Like, what type of opportunities are there? If I was a supplier trying to help you carry on with your mission in Mexico, what type of opportunities do we have with Latécoère, number one, and number two? how can we get close to you in order to see what would be the next steps?
So we start from Aeroestructuras with Edgar.
Hello, everybody. Well, it's a really interesting question, and I think the time is really challenging for the industry. I think the most important thing that we need to do as a cluster is to start integrating all the supply chain and find out how it can be more flexible. I think this at this time and the situation that we have has shown us that we need to be really flexible and be capable to adapt. Opportunities, I think that might be all kind of opportunities we have now. If it's related to our products, this is based on the fact that what we are doing and the plan of the company at this time is to bring the suppliers as close as possible to where we are using the material. So we can and we are working to develop suppliers closer to us. So I think FEMIA should be a good channel to get in touch with us. You have our contacts, and also as Nicola mentioned, there are our digital channels, emails, webpage, Twitter, LinkedIn. All of those can be a good channel to contact us.
And just as you said, your emails happen to be on the screen. So for the audience, if you want to get in touch with Edgar or Felipe to see what type of opportunities there are at Latécoère, Edgar and Felipe would be the right guys. Edgar, what division do you currently represent different than Felipe?
Well, actually, my role is more related to purchasing. I'm the regional buyer. I'm working on develop suppliers for North America, Mexico, and South America. So that's my role, and Felipe works more with the programs.
Okay, that's important to know. And here's a question from Manuel Mancera from Spectrum, which is the process to become a Latécoère supplier, and how much time does it typically take?
Well, it depends. It depends on the supplier that we are adding to our portfolio. It depends on the product, because depending on that, there are different certifications or processes that we need to go through, and also it depends on the final customer this supplier is going to serve. But I mean, it's administrative process. It can take a couple of, maybe 1 month if we expedite things. But as I mentioned, it depends on the product, most of all.
I'm going to say that it depends, perhaps on the sense of urgency that you have, but then also it depends on the sense of or the level of readiness of the supply. And when we talk about readiness, what type of, let's say, certifications would you be expecting from any supplier to be onboarded with Latécoère?
Oh, well, AS 9100 is the basic one. SNATCAP will be a plus. As I mentioned, it depends. It's not the same for if we are adding a distributor, or it's going to be a direct raw material supplier. It's based on each case. We need to analyze.
Okay.
But it's the basic one.
Right. Okay, so it'd be definitely on a case by case, but
Yeah.
most of it AS 9100, that'd be definitely a mandatory certification.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And I mentioned this because it's not the same to adding fastener suppliers than a composite one. It changed the process and
Right.
the certifications that we need, and the complex that the product might be according to that.
Totally understood. Um, perhaps this question, I'm going to address it to Nicola. And Nicola, in regards to business development, you showed us the capabilities that you have, and obviously, as we see the aerospace industry getting back to, let's say, normal, that they're going to try to enter this recovery stage in which, depending on the program, we've heard that we're to 30% of recovery was lost, especially on the commercial side. What type of message would you like to convey to those OEMs and tiers one? And especially, I was really impressed when you showed us your numbers, where basically Mexico brings a great output of your revenue. So what kind of message, especially for this recovery, and especially when we see a lot of suppliers on the US side and in Europe that are going to be either retiring or that are going bankrupt, what type of capabilities would you like to offer to the OEMs and tiers one, and to say that you're ready for it?
If we start from the general market, we saw a drop up to 60% during the pandemic. So last year, the market drop was drastic. This drove consolidation as well on the market, because small suppliers, some were not able to face the crisis. We have been lucky to be supported by our stakeholders, and we have been in the forefront to consolidate. So we purchased the Bombardier interconnection system business last year. We purchased the TAC, an aerostructure company in Belgium, this summer to enter the MRO market. Recently, we finalized the purchase of Shintech de Mexico here for composites. So we've been lucky to grow during this difficult time. A key enabler for this growth have been as well the diversification, because CAE, that was one of our past partners and customers for simulators, became one of our customers for healthcare. So last year we've been one of the only players here in the Sonora market who hired for the ramp up of the respirators market. This year we are diversifying with the project led by Felipe on the ground transportation electric sector. So a key to survive this difficult time has been the soundness of our ownership and the capacity to diversify in different markets. That's the reason why we are also pushing on the military market, because it's a market that is different cycles in respect to the civil sector. So consolidation, diversification, those have been keys. In the opportunities we are offering to the local market is to support us in our growth. We are launching a new door here in Hermosillo. So a program that will ramp up in the following months. I don't know if Edgar, you can disclose already a roadmap and the name of the customer, or is still confidential?
Still confidential.
So anyway, Edgar won't hesitate to develop this as soon as we can disclose more information. So from the local supply chain for the aerostructure, we'll see new metallic component suppliers. And today, part of our supply chain for the production is coming from Europe. The target is to develop it locally. So Shimtech will be a key player, but won't be the only one. So we'll see also to look for competence on the market. In parallel, we would like to be more present on the cabin market, offering our interconnection system wire harnesses, for example, to the helicopters and the VIP aircraft manufacturers.
Those are really. I'm sorry, Nicola. Go ahead.
Did that fit your question?
No, I was going to say that interesting news, especially as you grow in Mexico and you try to do some sort of import substitution from Europe, there might be great opportunities. And here, I think I could unfold a few questions. Number one, you talked also about during your presentation about additive manufacturing. And one of the concerns that we have in the value chain, talking about the future, is how do you envision traditional or deductive manufacturing being substituted by additive manufacturing? What role do you envision of Latécoère, and how should suppliers get ready to support you in that way?
Question for Edgar.
Okay.
Okay. No, as I mentioned, what we are looking at this time is it's the suppliers that can be flexible, that can adapt to our current needs. You know, normally this industry used to be, how can I say it?
Very conservative.
Yeah, very conservative in terms of the future, what it's coming. This industry used to be really stable, and after all this crisis of the COVID, we realized that it's not the case. So we are looking at not only new suppliers but partners at this moment. We would like to develop partners that are willing to work with us and to have that commitment with our strategy at this time. So I think this is not a secret or something that Latécoère is developing. I think it's what the whole industry is trying to adapt, and it's the real need in the market. How can we be flexible? How can we adapt as soon as the industry is providing or it's showing that it's going to change? You know, that the industry that we had 2 years ago and the one that we have at this time, it's completely different. And the one that we are going to have by the end of next year, it's going to be completely different to what we have now. So I think that's the key factor on what we are looking to develop, not only suppliers but partners on our business.
This is really interesting because that means a long-term relationship, which is really good in business. And I'm going to focus in with this question that we have from Wendy also. Is there any process you're willing to subcontract, or let's call it in the terms that you're saying, to partner with? What type of processes are you seeking to partner with?
I think at this moment, what we are focusing is to work on machine parts and you know, coding process. Those
Okay.
are the key elements that we are trying to resource as close as possible to our productions.
Okay, so that like import substitution strategy that Nicola mentioned, one large portion of it, if I understand it correct, would be focused on machine parts along with their secondary processing capabilities, right? Like chemical
Yeah, right.
processing, heat treatment, and welding, perhaps.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, okay. And so if they wanted to get in touch with you, should they send you a straight email, or what avenue do you suggest would be best for suppliers that are in the machining business to get in touch with you?
Yes, there is the emails, my contact, or anyone, the three of us can be, they can get in touch with us. Of course, no problem. Please send me an email, and we start talking about what opportunities of doing business and doing develop these partner relations. It's possible at this time according to needs.
Okay, okay, good. One other key question over here is when we talk about machine parts, basically there would be different types of machining. And when I say different types, we could categorize supplier number one on the size of machine parts that they could process. Number two, the type of alloys that you'd be selecting. Obviously, it's very different working with aluminum than it is working with Inconel or titanium. What type of alloys are you looking for, and what type of size constraint would you be looking for?
I think it's more aluminum, what we are looking at this time, but I prefer the people the companies that are interested to send me an email, because it's quite complex, the matching parts that we are having, and we are still working on the strategy of what we want to start work at the beginning. But yes, most of that will be aluminum.
Gotcha. Okay, and that'd be particularly like the most sought capability that you'd be looking for, or do you have any like second capability as composites? I mean, I know you just acquired Shimtech, but is there more opportunity on the composite side, or is there additional opportunities on plastic injection molding, or let's say on wire harnessing? I don't know. Are there other opportunities besides machine parts? I think we lost Edgar and Nicola for a second. While they get back, for the audience that is currently listening, um, Enrique from our team already pasted the emails from Edgar, Felipe, and Nicola, so that if you want to get in touch with them, perhaps you could send them an email, or you could even get in touch with us to see what type of opportunities we could try to pursue with Latécoère. As you saw in today's presentation, this is a very large group that's growing in Mexico. They have the operations that are based out of Saltillo, Sonora, and they acquired the Shimtech, which is a very important composite operation in Sonora as well. And they also had acquired the wire harnessing operation that used to be Bombardier in the past in Querétaro. So there's going to be opportunities for suppliers in different capabilities. Just as Edgar mentioned, one of the key opportunities that they're trying to pursue right now is machining on the aluminum side. Obviously, because of confidentiality, they cannot disclose more information at this point. But once you send information and perhaps sign an NDA, you could get in touch with them. I believe they might have lost a connection. Um, I wonder if there's any other question. I know there was a question to see what type of opportunities there might be for students. So will we get in touch with Latécoère's team to convey those opportunities? Perhaps, Enrique, I wonder if you could help us put the email of Contacto so that they can contact us and see how we can connect them to the right point of contact in Latécoère. I believe Nicola's just getting back. Let's see. Nicola, do we have you back?
Back again.
Here
Sorry,
we are.
guys, technical problems here.
Here we are. Here we are.
We're not able to connect. Sorry.
Okay, so we were talking about the other opportunities that we have here, and I think there's an opportunity area related to consumables, on chemicals for production. Also, that it's quite complicated to source.
Okay. Okay. And obviously, I mean, there's got to be a lot of like confidential information that you might not share over this media right now. But perhaps once they sign an NDA with you, you'd be able to share more information, and especially after you learn about their
Yeah.
capabilities.
Yes, that's right.
One of the things that we've seen, especially when you talk about partnership, we've seen different companies that perhaps the capabilities that they're not what you will need over the next decade, but they're willing to invest. And when you seek for partners, would you be seeking to share part of the vision so that if they expand their capabilities, they would be investing in the right equipment, or what type of avenue do you want to pursue in that way?
I mean, we are open to all kind of options. It's what I just mentioned. It's we need to think a different way to do business. Of course, if we are seeking to have those long-term agreements with our partners or new suppliers. And as Nicola mentioned, that the company in Mexico is growing really fast. So the aim of the mission that we have at this time as a purchasing department is to develop that relation with the local supply chain. Yes, we are looking at long-term relation, and we need to check case by case what it's possible.
Okay. And is there any particular region or let's say radius of distance that you'd be interested in, or it could be from anywhere in Mexico?
No, it could be anywhere in Mexico. No problem.
Okay, okay, very good. So I wonder, in regards to the business opportunities, if there would be any additional questions from the audience. I mean, otherwise, you already have Edgar's and Felipe's emails. You can get in touch directly with them. And well, we have perhaps a few minutes to finish this webinar. There's an additional question in regards to like students, like collaboration schemes. Is there any chance for students to start collaborating with you in order to develop innovation projects for aerostructures?
I don't have that information. I think they should contact Human Resources Department. They are really active in LinkedIn, and they answer really fast. It's a really good way to contact them.
Okay, okay, very good.
But just to let you know, Latécoère, it's always open and welcoming students to do internships here. Actually, I can mention that some of the best persons that we have, they start here as students. And so, yes, the answer is yes, but they need to go through human resources.
Okay, okay, good. So we're getting close to the end of our webinar. I wonder, Edgar, Felipe, or Nicola, what are your closing thoughts about your presentation and you'd like to convey to the aerospace community in Mexico?
Well, from my side, just to thank the activity of FEMIA. I mean, I think it's amazing that we have this forum to talk and to discuss about the situations that we are living as an industry. And I think this it's a really good way to get in touch and to find those opportunities that at the end will be our advantage as a cluster. You know, everybody's trying to do the best to get the business also. As much as we can organize, we will have that advantage to have a new business.
Good, thank you. Nicola, Felipe, do you have any other closing thoughts.
Not on my side. It's a blooming opportunity for everyone. As Nicola mentioned, we are expanding our horizons. So we do as well encourage everyone to follow this path, as trucks and airplanes are getting more likely than ever. So feel free to contact us as well for other type of business, and we encourage you to follow this path, as this might be the way of transportation future. And thank you for your time with us.
Thank you, Felipe. Thank you. And Nicola.
Javier, one thing we didn't touch is that the aircraft market is bouncing back. So we foresee to be by 2025 on the same level of occupation we had before. So in this moment, we have a huge work on quotations for new products that will be launched starting next year. So we foresee a comeback that will bring us with good opportunities, especially in the single aisle market. The double aisle, so the huge aircraft, will continue struggling for the next 2 to 3 years. But for the regional market, there is a really restart of the market, driven by the decarbonization as well of the business, with a tendency to reduce the carbon footprint of our transportation. So having greener aircraft and greener companies will be not only a market driver, not only a matter of communication, but really the next challenge. So also in industrial processes, to have as Edgar was mentioning, we are struggling with coating and other pollutant technologies, and game changer can be have the same products but with zero impact or lower impact on the environment.
I think this is a very compelling message you're putting across, because obviously there's a great challenge to try to reduce, number one, weight and increase fuel efficiency aircraft. And by that, we need to explore different materials, different, there's a whole room open for innovation right now. And if we combine it with those companies that would like to partner with you to try to put something interesting. So thank you so much, Nicola. Thank you so much, Edgar. Thank you so much, Felipe. We would like to start closing this webinar. On behalf of the Mexican Federation of the Aerospace Industry, we would like to thank you for this enlightening presentation and for opening the door for the Mexican aerospace community. And thank you very much. And then just to remind the audience, next week we're going to be having also our next webinar. Don't forget to register. And very interesting, because there's a lot of companies that want to like home office environments or to mixed environments, and that's the topic we're going to be discussing next week. So to the Latécoère team, Nicola, Edgar, Felipe, thank you so much. Thanks for the audience for having joined us today. And should you have any questions, you can get in touch with us through emails, and make sure you follow us so that you stay tuned for our upcoming opportunities and upcoming news. Thank you so much for joining us.